Hey, welcome back. Man, it's been a while. I'm in that like mid state of the build kind of blues. I've just been busy at work and busy with holidays, and it's all excuses, but I guess it's what the generic Jeeper does. Jack stand warrior. But let me show you some of my progress, one step at a time, and I'm gonna get this thing hopefully going before Christmas. That's the goal. At least back it out. Might not be perfect, but you know, have it move under its own power. So stick around. Well, there's your problem. All right, so when I last left, I was trying to get this Genrite gas tank installed. And well, it's not easy, but it's also not terrible. There was a couple of broken bolts. I went ahead and fixed those, but as you can see, all the bolts are installed. I wanted to hold off on that tank until I ran my brake lines. I don't know if you can see, but brake lines are run. Also, I had to drill and put in a axle breather vent because the original one got welded over. But now this is all set. And remember, I was trying to put a 2000 fuel pump into a 2006 tank, and there was a couple of little plastic clips I had to cut out of the way, and I wanted to make sure that it would run. So old pump in the new tank, and success. Yay. Man, that feels good. I did not want to have to take the tank back out and get an old pump and figure out how to, or a new pump and figure out how to adapt those two. So we're doing good there. So I went ahead and kept on working on my brake lines. Of course, I broke a brake line. Had to run some new stuff. Had to run some old stuff, get clips. And for whatever reason, these style brake lines, which are Chevy 6-inch lift, did not seal. Now I know it doesn't have a copper washer. It did when I had it put on. And it seems like, let me show you, and the way these go on, this metal boss interferes with this tab on the brake line, but just ever so slightly. You can actually get it on if you put it in upside down, but then it's pointing the brake line back in instead of pointing it out on the angle like it's supposed to. Also, it still felt like it caught right at the very end and stopped it from sealing. So that's why there's a huge puddle of brake fluid on the ground from yesterday's cursing and screaming. But I think with just a small amount of grinding on those two bosses there, I don't think it'll get into the caliper, and I think it'll let this actually seal properly. So that's today's plan. You can see any of that. But right here, you can see how much I've ground away this entire boss, and that's let this, that was catching on this little part of the brake line, and now that's going to let that fully seal and tighten up. So yay, I feel better. All right. Okay, let's talk about Build Burnout. I think anyone that's been in this sport, hobby, lifestyle has been there. I think especially if you live in a northern climate. But if you've been to a place in your build where you don't see, like, you see the backside of it, you don't see, just seems overwhelming when you think of all the issues that you're running into and the logistics of overcoming those issues. So for me, one of the huge things is I don't have a welder or a lift. And now the lift is optional, but the welder, when it comes to, I've got a little 110, and I do that for putting brake clips on and little things like that. But I've got a pannered mount that still has to get put on, and that's 1/4-inch steel. I'm gonna obviously need a 220 MIG setup of some type, and I've got one of those at work, but that involves loading this thing up on a trailer, taking it up to work, waiting till after work, setting up babysitters, or figuring out something with that. And so some of that stuff just gets a little bit tough. And, you know, this is an ambitious project for a, you know, hobby guy. And, you know, I watch all the shows, and I love YouTube, and I love the off-road world, but as far as actual mechanic skills and time, I mean, 100% self-taught. My dad was never into any of this stuff. I think the hardest part is how frustrating it can be, is seeing how easy it looks to others. And it's not. None of this stuff is easy. It all takes time. It all takes frustration. I mean, the biggest thing I can say is just to keep at it, to keep going, one step at a time. Don't worry about the big picture. Take your little victories when you can get them. Like this right there, right? Yesterday, I filled that brake fluid system up. It went everywhere, all over the floor. I didn't see what was blocking it. It looked like it was sealed. And today, I'm able to actually get in there, let's watch my dog eat the FedEx man. So anyways, I was able to spend a little bit more time and get it set today. So like, I guess that's my message on burnout, is don't think about the full project. Think about just the little things. That's what's going to keep you going. Little victory at a time. If you think about the big stuff, it's not going to go anywhere. All right, before this FedEx man gets out and ruins my shot, y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, like the video. See ya.